Welcome, anime lady fans. We're back for another Black Clover video of chapter 259. As you can see, LegendDVash is always the king of games, JBXclusive from Careful Spoilers and aka the podcast as well. We're here for another Black Clover review after a 2-week break. And guys, this was an interesting chapter, not as hype as it has been, but let's get further.
Action-packed as hell. Like, this is all action.
That's straight to the point. So let's get straight to it, Ray. What do you think about your first impression about it? Start us off.
So to be honest, like I said, this is all action. Like this was an action chapter, which I've noticed that Tabata does. Like he does this. It's like, all right, guess what? You story, and now I'm gonna give you a fight, and this is just the fight. That's what you're getting until it's done, and that's what we got this chapter. I was like, okay, I like this. It's just that what's a good word for this? I guess the only word that I really came up with that seems like that is respectful, because I know it still takes a lot of work, is busy. It's a very busy chapter, right? Which made it a little hard to follow sometimes. Not the whole time, but sometimes, which you guys even also echoed that it's like you had to reread a few panels a few times to like see what's really happening. So,
James?
Yeah, I really, really like this chapter. Coming from 258, we were like, okay, well, what's the time limit on this power that he's given? Now we know at the beginning of this one that it's 50 seconds. And this is an all-out battle for 50 seconds trying to get rid of Dante, right? Like Ray alluded to already, I personally had to read the chapter 3 times because there's a few panels in the middle where Asta is losing swords, and I'm like, okay, well, when exactly, which part of this panel did he lose this sword? Now, on the third go-around, I did see all 3 times where Dante used the flesh magic, and he's holding each sword, and then we get to the end where Yami gives Asta his sword. So, action-packed as hell, very busy, like Ray said. There's a lot going on, and I can't wait to see this animated because there's just so much cool shit going on in all of these panels. And I love what's going on between Yami and Asta. Like, they're becoming so much more in sync. We saw in 258 where they were breathing in and out together, but Asta couldn't keep up with Yami's speed, and now he can, right? They're in sync. They're going after Dante, but just can't seem to seal the deal until we get to that last panel. I don't think Dante is done, but what do you guys think?
I think he might be, at least Dante is done, but his demon ain't done.
That's where I believe, like, I have to agree with Ray and with James that with Dante coming out, Dante may be the one that's out, since, you know, he's the one that got slashed, but maybe his demon is the one that will take control. So, you know, some demons maybe also have their own pride, their own righteous.
Remind me, which magic is Dante's again?
Dante's is flesh magic.
Okay.
Yes, and his demon is a gravity magic. So that's the assumption. And also, the demon of Dante said himself that Asta's demon is a nobody and everything. And then maybe the demon inside is his pride, saying that, wait, why did we just lose to a nobody? And that's where his demon could come out, saying that this is not how it's going to go out. That's what I believe.
No, because that demon is trapped in the underworld, which is the point of them trying to open this portal so that they can be set free and they don't have to use hosts. So what's going to happen indeed? You make a good point, but it's like, based on that, what's going to happen, you know?
And then going back to a few chapters ago, correct me if I'm wrong, they did say that was that Dante at his max demon power?
Yeah, without demon being in the underworld, he can only hit 80%.
Yeah, so maybe he is done. He could just be done, and they beat Dante.
That is his 80% max. And also, I want to add to what you guys were saying before. I also had to read the chapter 3 times as well, because for me it felt like it was busy. Not that it was too much, because I love the art style. His art style is great. Oh yeah. But it felt like it was like I couldn't read where the battle is going. Where it makes sense, because when you do any type of battle chapter, Dragon Ball Super, One Piece, or any type of series that does a battle chapter, it's hard to tell where the story is going. And it was funny enough that we did in the podcast saying, what would you rather have, anime or manga? And with this, I want to see how it looks in the anime, because for this reason, I want to see it more fluently and flow better with the battle between Dante versus Yami and Asta. See how the swords go. See where the hell does the Demon Destroyer go? Where the Demon Dweller goes, and how did it go back into Asta's Grimoire and everything? Because he was fighting and putting a good fight against Dante. So I want to see
remember we clarified that because we had a whole conversation about this before we got on here. So he lost the Demon Slayer. And he pulled out the Demon Dweller, but that got hit by Dante too. And he was pulling the Demon Destroyer out of the book.
Yes.
So that's what was happening. Yeah.
So that's
he
where
used all three, and then until he got his new fourth sword, as Miguel likes to say now, from Yami.
Which for me is his new fourth sword, because from what we know that anti-magic that he was flowing into Yami's katana. So most likely that's my assumption. I'm the only one here in this boat. Let me know comment section. Are you with me on this boat, or are you with James and Ray on their own boat? So
the only reason why I would think that that's the case is because since he imbued it with anti-magic, it can no longer be used with other magic.
So that's my guess.
That is the only I think explanation I'll accept personally.
Yes, because if Yami cannot use a sword no more because maybe the katana not as fluid with anti-magic, where if Yami touches it, it takes his magic now. But we don't know if that's the case until next final chapter.
I mean, I'm just hoping it was like hey, we had a really cool combo attack. Give me back my sword, kid. You know?
Yeah, like I don't agree with that at all. I think Aso is just using the sword, and in that moment, he was just channeling anti-magic through it. I don't think just because he did it this one time, it automatically means that it's his sword and Yami can't use it anymore. I personally think that would be lame, but if it's explained well, I can go with it. But as of right now, with what I'm looking at, I think it would be stupid, and I'm not down for that at all.
Who knows?
That's why I said the only explanation I'll take is the anti-magic one.
But yes, I do see the con, because if that happens, that means AKA Yami loses his katana. But then maybe that gives him reason. Maybe it gives him a reason to go back to his home country to get new swords. I'm just throwing it out the window, saying like, hey, what hits? Maybe what could be possible?
Because my thing is, what's the point of Asta just having a sword that he can pour anti-magic into? He already has 3 other swords that each have their own individual attributes what am I trying to say? It gives him the ability to use anti-magic in 3 different ways with 3 different swords.
Imbued, that was the word.
Embedded.
Imbued, yeah, that was the word.
That's what I was looking for. So sorry.
My bad.
But what would be the point of him having just a fort sword that doesn't do anything at all, just to put anti-magic into it? That's stupid.
I agree with James here. I 1000% agree with James here.
Like we said last chapter, and like we said, my hero, not saying I want to be right. If I'm wrong, all right, cool, I'm wrong. So if it happens, I'm not the one creating the story. I'm just throwing like, hey, what could be a possibility? What could be cool? And if I'm wrong, go for it. I don't mind saying if he has the ability to grab any sword and put his magic or anti-magic or his type of attribute into that sword, like Ray said off screen, if he could have an axe and put his embedded magic of anti-magic into it.
Oh no, I want him to have a Grimoire axe. That's what I want.
That too.
That's what I want. I want him to have a big old axe.
I'm okay with that. Like, I want him to be able to pick up other weapons and just fill them with anti-magic and use them, but I don't want him to have to take over these weapons every single time just to do that. Like, it's just like, oh, let me borrow your weapon real quick because I can't use any of mine because I can still just fill it with anti-magic.
Yeah, I agree. I completely, it takes away a whole like piece of his character that they've built up.
Yeah, because that katana is very special to Yami. But I mean,
I still would really appreciate it if Yami was like, well, I can't use it anymore. That one's shit now. Here, you can have it. You know,
I was just gonna say, if that's the way it plays out, as long as it's explained well, I'm cool. I'm good.
So I have another theory though, real quick before we move on. How long do you think before Asta becomes the vice captain?
Well, we don't know if because we do know the Black Bulls has a vice captain. We just never seen him in the past 259 chapters yet. But we do know that the Black Bulls has it, but we just never seen the character yet. But it just happens in case Asta says, hey, you know, I haven't seen my own vice captain in 2 years or something. So
don't they name temporary vice captains and captains all the time?
Yeah. I don't know. I think Asta definitely has the strength and the power, but like the aptitude, maybe not yet to be a vice captain?
Well, this Asta, I think so, because like,
Yeah.
you remember the opening chapters of post time skip Asta? He seemed badass and in control, which was really cool.
And plus Yuno's vice captain in the Golden Dawn right now. So but
you know.
Yeah.
But he's a natural strategist. Like, that's really what I'm talking about. Like, can Asta take the entire team and like delegate instructions on how to fight as a team? I don't know yet.
Same.
So
You're right.
To make him vice captain, there's multiple layers to that. It's not just about who has the most power. You know what I mean? Like,
and plus to prove James' point is that even Finral said it in this chapter. He said it that they're fighting so randomly, but also seems kind of synchronized for themselves, but also looks like they're having fun. So it kind of works for Yami and Asa style because they're both those type of fighters. But for Asa to lead a team or lead them into battle, then Asta's strategy won't work because he's a very random person as a fighter. Because with Yami, it works against Dante and everything. But who knows, as a team, it might not work. So I think I will have to agree with James. As a vice captain, he has the strength. He has the type of ability. But to lead, I don't know.
I mean, we also haven't seen he hasn't been put in a situation where he necessarily has to. So,
right.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know yet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And plus, Asta knows that he has to become a leader. If he wants to become the Wizard King, he knows that, hey, I have to become a good leader. So maybe that's something that he needs as a stepping stone for him to get in that right route to actually become a great leader as a Wizard King in the future by whenever that happens. So who knows?
Yeah.
So anything else to add about this chapter, about Dante, about Fenrir, anything else, any theories you guys want to add, James?
I'm curious if this is going to be another. All right, now back to this other thing that we haven't talked about in a long time.
Yo, imagine if it goes back to the Spade Kingdom about that guy who infiltrated them.
Maybe.
Just goes to right field like, all right, in the other story here, we were having this dude in the Spade Kingdom. Like, damn. Like,
to be fair, this is a great cliffhanger point.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. So here we are, back to guessing this again.
I don't know. I have no idea.
That would suck if it does happen. Ooh. Because we can't really go to that's done. Noel, that's done. So Asta's the current one that needs. And the Spade Kingdom, it was not really a whole plot thread. It was just more of a small little kind of sample, and then we go back. So I think that is kind of it about this arc.
Not yet. They still have some stuff to like level out. We got to see what happened with the explosions in the heart.
That's true.
Right.
So we got to see what's up with that. Kind of get the damage control, like what's happening there. We got to see what they're gonna do with Dante here. I don't know.
Yeah, because we
got to wrap up still.
Yeah, because they only succeeded to grab the captain from the Golden Dawn, and they were
princess. They got the princess too.
Yeah, so the only thing that failed that we know of right now at this moment is to capture Yami. Because right now Dante ran a lost technically. So we just really need to see where it goes and leads up to then, I guess.
Yeah,
by next week, chapter 260.
I still think they get Yami. I still think they open the portal. We've gotten too far into Black Clover for this to be the end of an arc. This would be really lame.
Oh, shit!
What?
The arm that he cut off.
What about it?
He can grow his whole body back from that arm. So they were just fighting like a clone, essentially.
Yeah, because
that's a good theory. That's a really good
because they made point to look at that. So
yeah,
it's true. Because in the past two panels, he had to show his arms. They just show his torso and other arms. So we don't know if he got that is a good point.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be really cool. I'd be happy to see that, but
yeah, because obviously he can be completely blown apart, but as long as something
exists still,
regenerate from the whole thing. That would be cool.
Yeah, because last time what got regenerated was his arm, was his head and his torso and everything. So this time he could just regenerate from an arm.
Yeah,
that'd be so OP and broken if that actually happened.
Well, he is.
I mean, to be fair, it's flesh magic. Like, he can grow and regenerate from any part of his body anyway. Because, look at every time Yami uses the death cannon or the death thrust. Like, he just pulls himself right back together.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, what James just said. Yeah, he pulls himself back together. So,
man, That's a
So
good,
that's
really good poll.
That's a good theory. That's a good way to end the show here for this one. So, guys, let us know if you agree with Ray, agree with me. Am I on the only bull here about his katana? Do you agree with Ray talking about that he's the only that he'll come back from an arm? Let us know in the comments. Let us know your theories as well. Join that Discord server. Like our video as well. Subscribe. Press the button notification every time I upload videos. And other than that, guys, see you guys next week on Monday.
Peace.